Today we had a Monday with no red folder news today, and if we zoom out to the 4 hour, we kind of we're within this consolidation here. These white lines are the high of the day and the low of the day, and yeah, we're kind of just consolidating within this range, and that's kind of what I expect to see. And I expect to see Wednesday really manipulate one side of this range, and then possibly I don't know what Wednesday's gonna do. Wednesday we have CPI and FOMC, so two big volatile news events. So with that being said, I think Monday and Tuesday of this week definitely risk off. Definitely not looking to engage in month, and definitely gonna get action like this. And I do want to point out something that I'll just point out right now, but this right here is a rejection block here, and you draw that out in time, and that's exactly where we had the low of the PM session. That might be cherry picked. It might be it's all hindsight, but that was kind of a low that we had here. But a better level to use, in my opinion, would have been this breaker here, and we had a nice little IRL to ERL trade within the PM session, and this morning session, I'm not gonna lie, for me, it was a little bit harder to read. I was live during this all, and I wanted to see us come back down to this daily order block, and I want to see some form of Monday low of week because I'm bullish. I really like this order block level, and I'm going to be monitoring this throughout the week. But just with the news calendar, the fact that we have CPI and FOMC on the same day could probably mean that we might want to wait till that to then maybe manipulate lower and then have Thursday, Friday expansion higher. Or we could just be consolidating, taking high of the ranges and then back lower. Um, Dollar also as well. I haven't really been liking dollar analysis. I think dollar's just been a little bit harder to read because we're pretty much just consolidating here. We're not really respecting much. We're kind of sloping up higher and then retracing and just not respecting much there. But basically, um, if we look into the delivery of today, we can kind of break it down and see kind of how we could have done a little bit better. At open, or at market open, we formed an SMT with YM. If I pull up YM was doing for the morning. YM was literally doing the opposite of what ES was kind of doing. Right here, we form an SMT at these lows, and then YM immediately pumps and then retraces while ES or while NQ is displacing higher. So I'm not really gonna look at YM too much, but we did have SMT with YM. Oops. I was originally looking at these order blocks here to possibly get displacement lower off of, but that wasn't the case. So right here, if we look back, we have S&P with YM, then we have a 5-minute change of state delivery. Order block gets respected, then we displace higher. And now down close candles are being respected. Down close candles are being respected. We zoom in even more to the 1 minute hour around market open. We had consolidation from 950 to 1010. So whenever there's, at least I've noticed, like whenever there's consolidation from 950 to 1010, we then expect 1010 to make the meaningful move higher. So then we expect 1010 to have a meaningful move higher or lower. And in this case, we end up displacing higher, come back down to this mitigation block and into this fair value gap. And then that's when you get your silver bullet entry right there. Displacement higher, we claim this, poke above it right there. We're also accumulating within the 15-minute breaker low. The low of that 15-minute breaker is that blue box here. And then we displace higher throughout the rest of the AM session. And then where do we pause out here? We come up to the high end of this fair value. I haven't annotated this, but we come up to the high end of that fair value gap, and look at the wicks here. That's kind of interesting. So we come up to that level, and then we displace lower. ICT actually did take a trade during this. I looked at that execution. He pretty much took a short here after at like 120 and then targeting this imbalance here, which that is the 15-minute imbalance as well. Price comes in there, and then we displace higher. And then at around 2 p.m., we end up having a 2 p.m. silver bullet, and I think this was probably A decent trade today. We have 209, displaces lower. We come into here and then we sell off back to that 15 minute imbalance. So I think that this trade right here probably would have been a nice decent trade. And then we come to that 15-minute imbalance into that 15-minute breaker. Also that 1 hour rejection block I pointed out. And then we end up forming a buy model. In terms of trading this, not the cleanest in the world. I bet we probably have SMT at these lows. I want to see if we have SMT at these lows to confirm that thesis. Yeah, we do. We have SMT with ES here at these lows, confirming that smart money reversal. And that's why this kind of ran out without giving an entry. Once we have displacement higher, we close above these order block candles. We never retrace back into here, so if you were waiting for a retracement, or you never got that. And the reason why that is, I think that it's end of the day and the market's just in a rush to deliver to these levels and then close back within the range. And that's exactly what ends up happening. And then throughout the rest of the day, we just poke up, poke up. Look at the respect to that 1 hour level. That 1 hour fair value gap high. And right now, I'm not expecting much for tomorrow, but I'm expecting the draw in liquidity to be this high here. And then I want to see what else we're going to do. Overall, this does look bullish. So I just don't like the fact on, if we pull up YM, we have all of these equal lows here that we're now stacking. We've retraced back up into equilibrium, looks like, of this range. Around equilibrium of this range. So I want to see, does Wednesday possibly manipulate lower, displace higher? Are we going to build a profile like that? Or what are we going to do? But I think that we need to definitely manipulate these lows to then displace higher. That's what I think. And we're going to wait. We're going to see what price does. And kind of just get a good feel. I don't like establishing a bias like overnight. Just because I like to see what the overnight session does, because London really gives you key insights on what the session is likely to do. I do want to check Euro and GU just to get like an overall sense. Just because I'm a little bit like in between. Right now, we came back within this daily imbalance here. Here on Euro. I don't really like that color right now. Let me change that up. Let me change that up. Fair value gap. Back within that. We didn't tap that order block. Is there a weekly order block here? No. I don't like that. Okay, I'm gonna use that daily fair value gap level. We're back within that, and we have now displaced lower. I see this pair is a little bit harder to read right now for me, honestly. So I want to see, do we want to retrace back up in this fair value gap, show respect to it? Obviously, we've consolidated, and this has been the first like displacement now validated with the formation of this fair value gap. Do we want to retrace into here and use this to head lower to these lows? We'll see, because that would mean that dollar would likely be bullish. And if we look at dollar, I don't like these lows. These lows look a little bit too clean. These lows definitely look a little bit too clean. And I want to see, personally, FOMC. I don't know how it's probably not gonna be that volatile, but I want to see FOMC possibly take these lows and then form a wick that looks something like this. That shows institutional sponsorship of that move. Yeah, so Euro, we're within that daily fair value gap right now, and we now displaced lower. What about GU? GU, I have some drawings here. Oh, GU, possibly I want to see us displace lower to this daily fair value gap. That's where I think that we can go. But overall, GU is still bullish in my opinion, and I think GU is a little bit easier to read. But we have all these clean lows here. I think that these could get upset. We could come back within here. We also have this probably weekly mitigation. We'll mark it out. I'll mark it out on the daily. We have these up close candles over here in price that'll likely support price, and we'll see, could we possibly upset all of this? Stop out traders come within the daily fair value gap just to make another move higher. Yeah, so that's kind of what I see. I do want to check Bitcoin just because I'm curious. Bitcoin, we're failing to really meaningfully, or we're failing to truly displace here on the daily. So I think they're just waiting to send us higher. I think we're just consolidating within here. We kind of come back up, generate liquidity, induce liquidity. I honestly don't think it's ready yet. I was saying that I thought that this model was ready. I've been saying that since like here. I don't care to. Sorry, but I want to see, do we come back down here, and we could possibly make another move like this, but that just wouldn't be as bullish. If we were if this was like truly bullish, we would have made that move already up to push these highs. So I'm a little bit more hesitant on Bitcoin just because we're failed to do that. We are still holding these PT arrays, which is good to see. But yeah, overall, I think we could come back down to this 1 hour fair value gap. But I don't trade Bitcoin. I'm not here to try to trade Bitcoin either. I gave stuff up here just because I was looking at that. I was like, I think that's silly. Basically, yeah. Anything? I do want to check YM, just what YM's looking like. So YM, we have this volume imbalance that we're reaccumulating within on the daily. So we have this daily volume imbalance. We have a daily fair value gap up here that's been mitigated. We have taken that previous day high. Overall, we're kind of just within this. We're kind of consolidating here, and I think that we're consolidating till Wednesday to then have a move within the market. But overall, we've had expansion lower. We've had big expansion lower, especially on YM. So I think big ranges, retrace, small ranges, big range, retrace, small ranges, big ranges, small range, big ranges. Or it doesn't have to look like that. It could look like small ranges, big ranges. But I think, I don't know. We'll kind of see what happens. YM does look a little bit more bearish, but obviously NQ and ES, I'm more bearish on because I really do like this level here. So I'll be monitoring this level here. And I do like, if we look at the daily as well, I was going to point this out, and I swear I had this level on my chart. Maybe I did, but I just didn't notice it because I probably had a lot of levels. We did hold more or less constant approach of that wick. I mean, yeah, it's not like algorithmically perfect. But wait, hold up. I was like, oh, like, did we come into that old high? Yeah, we kind of also came within this whole, we dropped down to this old high here. Not that that's support and resistance, but it only works if there's a fair value gap. So the only reason why I would use that as like maybe like a confluence or like something to study is the fact that we have a fair value gap. But obviously, I'm not just gonna look at every high and just be like, oh, this is somewhere to buy. But the fact that this held as support with that daily fair value gap was nice to see. But just by look at this chart here on the 1 hour, we're just within this range. Do we have an inside day on the daily? No, we didn't. Or yeah, this is an inside day. This is an inside day, right? Yeah. We trade fully within the previous day high and the previous day low. So we were just within this inside day here, consolidating. That's all today was. Although we can take trades within that, you just gotta realize and respect what price is doing right now. We're prone to consolidate because of the economic calendar, and we're also prone to consolidate because dollars kind of consolidated as well, and we've just had a big expansion. So big expansion, small range, big expansion, small range, possibly something like that. But overall, this does look bullish. Looking into the future, if I were to, I think that if we don't displace higher tomorrow, then we're likely going to consolidate till, or we'll see what this week does. We'll see how this week plays out. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. I don't have much else, but I was just going over the action that we had today, and yeah, how I could have traded this. I did get a little bit chopped up here because I thought that this was a retracement into a 5-minute gap. I thought that this was a 9:30 a.m. Judas here, that we were retracing in this gap here to then head lower to this daily order block level. That's what I really want to see. I really had this in mind, but that's not what happened. And I think the reason why is because we're just not ready to move yet, and I don't think we're really going to manipulate on a day like today because we have FOMC and CPI, and then we also have PPI on Thursday. So yeah, that's for real. We'll be back tomorrow, and I appreciate you guys.